and the gas mileage isn't the best.
You need to give me a 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you. And I just figured it out just like that. That was pretty good. So with
You
the
just
third
figured it
row,
out after I told you that there was a button. So this week we have the 2024 Infiniti QX60, which is one of their best-selling models. And so hopefully we're going to tell you why, because this car, it kind of grew on both of us as we lived with it for a week. But there are a few negatives that we need to talk about.
yeah, that's shifter.
Spoiler alert. So as far as the styling is concerned, we both actually really like the way the QX60 looks. I don't think style, especially exterior style, has really been Infiniti's problem for the past decade. Like they've had some ups and downs. A lot of it has to do with other things, but the style looks pretty good. Has a big grille. It wears this sort of, Infiniti design language well. The lights look good. There's a lot of things that we really like about this, considering that this is essentially a Nissan Pathfinder underneath, which is itself a pretty good looking 3-row SUV. I mean, it's one of the Pathfinder strong suits, and I think they've done a good job here, not only hiding the fact that it's a Nissan Pathfinder, but sort of using those same proportions.
Yeah, because you keep saying that, and I don't feel
right.
Like
you didn't even think about that, and I think they're using the same good proportions that the Pathfinder has, and then putting Infiniti's design language over the top. So I actually totally agree. I like the way this thing looks. In autograph trim, you get that sort of two-tone with the sort of maroony red, which we both
you
found.
made fun of me when I called it maroony
I know. Well,
red.
you already called it that. We already filmed your part. See, now we're messing up like the continuity.
But I'm saying, no. You made fun of me. If they already saw that, then they saw you make fun of me, and now you're using my name.
Maybe, I don't know. But like it does have like a nice cool color contrast in this autograph trim with that black roof. And then the other weird thing that I found personally, I'm not a huge fan of chrome trim, but somehow Infiniti's managed to make the chrome trim kind of cool. We both actually like the fact that Infiniti is sort of
down there,
spelled out under the grille, and then on the sides, and I'll show you in B-roll, as you go down the window line of the greenhouse that has those chrome strips, and then they have these little like kind of square ending points to give it like a little bit of extra style. I appreciate that. I think it's a nice little design flourish, and again, I don't normally like chrome, so I think Infiniti's done a good job here dressing up that Pathfinder platform. And keep in mind, for those of you that are car guys like me, the Pathfinder platform, it goes back a bit. It's actually the same basic architecture under the previous gen Pathfinder, going back to that older Pathfinder, and I think back to the Infiniti, back even when it was called maybe the JX or whatever it was. And so they've really done a good job elevating this up to sort of a modern design language and improving some aspects of the powertrain, which we'll get to in a second.
All right, we are here with the Infiniti QX60 SUV. What size is this considered?
It's 3-row, midsize.
3-row, midsize. I love the outside of it. I think it looks really cool. It's got like the big fat grille. I feel like it's like kind of tough and kind of cool looking. I don't like the SUVs that are like too fancy and prissy or whatever. Yeah. So I feel like this is like a good, it's not like big and trucky and tough or whatever, but like I feel like it's better than like a little prissy one.
It's got style.
Does that make sense? Yeah. I love the front end. I think the grille is great. I love how it says Infiniti like that.
Oh, and the chrome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I like the little accents. I like these little guys. What is that?
Fake vents.
Fake. They're cool though. They look good.
They're definitely fake.
They look cool, and I like the headlights. I think it all looks really great. The wheels are, okay, not my favorite.
They're actually smallish by modern standards.
Yeah.
I think they're only like 20s.
I do like. Are all of them two-tone like this with the black top? And
no, I think this is the autograph. This is the fancy one.
Oh, then you should get the autograph because that looks really good. I think with the top black
I
and
do
the
like
bottom.
that.
Yeah, and then the back. Like sometimes I don't like a back. Sometimes I feel like they focus too much on the front and then they like ignore the back. But like the car needs to look good from the back, and I think this one does.
Yeah, no, the back end has some style.
Yeah, I like it. Do you want to look at what the back inside looks like?
You mean the cargo space?
Yeah.
That's what
the
that's
back
called.
inside.
Yeah, the back inside is called the cargo.
This is very easy to open.
Once you know where the button is.
Yep. Yeah, you couldn't find it the other day. I found it real quick, and I was like, step aside. Let me do it.
I thought it was the camera.
Yeah. See? All right. God, your camera bag's always in my way.
Yeah, it's for scale.
So now he has the back row down. So look at, I mean, there's a lot of space in here. He does have the third row down. So with the third row up, should I do that? Can I do it from back here?
It's got power. It's got power.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Whoa, look at that. All right.
Real time.
Real time. And I just figured it out just like that. That was pretty good. So with the third row.
You just figured it out after I told you that there was a button to figure it out.
No, you didn't tell me there was a button. You just said it's got power.
Well,
and then I just deduced.
You deduced there must be a button to activate that power?
Yeah.
You're a genius.
Thank you. Thank you. I've been told that before. So with the third row is kind of tiny. Am I going to have to sit back there?
Well, you can slide the second row up.
Oh, okay.
See,
so
like
we'll figure this out,
Yeah,
I
it's
guess.
adjustable.
But I mean, there's like, I mean, it's a decent amount of space, actually.
Yeah, it's like 14 and a half cubic feet.
That's not bad.
That's pretty average.
Yeah, with the third row up, I mean, it's not bad. I feel like there's some SUVs with the third row that have way less space than this.
Oh, definitely.
Don't they?
Yeah.
And
overall,
it's kind of like the more I
good.
explore this car, the more like maybe I would get this.
Yeah, you keep saying that.
I do because there's like little things that I really do like about it. There's a couple things I don't like, but the majority of things I really do like. Yeah.
We'll save that for the summary.
Oh, there's like a little thing in the middle.
A thing in the middle.
I don't know. It's like a little pad.
Cup holder?
No, not a cup holder. I'll show you when we get inside.
Okay.
But cargo wise, yeah, not bad. You want to check out the interior, the front?
Sure.
Okay.
The front.
Like the front seat?
The front interior. the front. You're struggling on interior. Exterior.
The driver. The rear.
The place where people sit.
Okay, so depending on your sort of preferences as far as a powertrain goes, this could be a good or a bad thing. So this is Infiniti's 3.5 liter V6, which means it's Nissan's 3.5 liter V6. And it's making 295 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque. So roughly exactly the same as the Nissan Pathfinder Rock Creek edition. And that's running through a conventional 9-speed automatic, which is good because I think back in the day where they were using more of the CVTs, a lot of people didn't love the CVTs. In fact, go check out the review I did of the QX55 about a year ago. I actually said there's a lot of things to like about that vehicle, but the powertrain was kind of a weak point, and the CVT really made it feel less luxurious than it actually was. And so here they have the Nissan Pathfinder 9-speed automatic. It works perfectly fine. This is torquey enough. I think it could tow up to 6,000 pounds, which is not bad in this category. The only downside is it's a largish vehicle, so it large-ish vehicle, so it doesn't feel quite as peppy as some of the competition that's using either turbocharged engines or hybridized engines, where it gives you more of that like low-end torque. So it's not quite as peppy as that, and the gas mileage isn't the best. Oh no!
I bet that's the lightning sensor.
Yes, yeah, that's the lightning sensor interrupting the
Because we're at a ball field.
Yeah. So if we die, thanks for watching. It's been fun. This is a great channel, and watch our archives
the sensor's gone.
because we're no longer here. Oh, and this is all-wheel drive. So it's a very practical vehicle. We'll talk about this more in the drive portion coming up in a few seconds. But the powertrain is not a negative, but it's also not like a positive, right? It's not like really elevating the experience in any way, especially at this thing's as-tested price of nearly $70,000. But we'll come back to that too.
I've been driving this for like a week, and I really enjoy this car. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's pretty good at what it does, based on the Pathfinder.
Pretty good at what it does. There are a few things that I do not like, but there are a lot of things I do like. You want me to talk about the driving? Is that what you want me to do right now?
Yes, let's stick with the driving.
I know, that's what you always say. I think it drives well. The brakes are a little like, what's the word? Grabby? Touchy, grabby?
Yeah, they are a little
sensitive.
And for no reason, because it's not a hybrid.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it accelerates well. I feel like it's a smooth drive. It's not real floaty. It's not real, whatever, where you feel all the bump. It's like a good middle driver.
That was an interesting description. It's a good middle
it's
driver.
not one of the ones that like floats like that, but it's also not one of the ones where you feel every single bump in the road.
It's not sporty.
It's in the middle. Yeah.
It's not floaty.
Correct. So that's good. I don't understand that. That's perfect. Perfect. The heads-up display is pretty nice while you're driving. I don't mind it at all.
Well, you like heads-up displays.
I do like heads-up, but sometimes they're better than others. This one's pretty good. It's nice and bright.
Yeah, this one's normal.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one. It turns well. I do like the steering wheel. I don't like the little metal thing here. I wish they would not do that. But it has the little flat pieces.
You just
on
want
the side.
everything to be a truck steering wheel.
I do, but it has the flat little flatty where it gets flat on the bottom.
Flat bottom.
Yeah, flat bottom. So I like that. And I mean, really, I have no problems with it. It's very like good.
Oh, this is
good.
gonna be real great
It is
editing.
good.
This is gonna be an awesome
There's nothing
video.
that like is great to me about the drive, but it's a good drive. I would drive this car forever.
Oh wow, drive this car forever.
Yeah, I think you would get, the brakes are not my favorite, but they're not so bad that you would be like, I can't ever get used to this. You know what I mean? I feel like you would get used to the braking.
That's
Some
true.
cars, I feel like that. Like, I feel like the braking would drive me crazy for every single day of my life. But I don't feel like that with this car, so I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I got no complaints. Pretty good. Pretty good.
So our review has devolved into severe thunderstorm warning, but it does give us a chance to talk about the fact that the rain sensing wipers on the Infiniti are excellent. I don't know if I've used rain sensing wipers on auto mode that are so accurate with like how they predict the actual amount of rain that's falling on the windshield. Because we are in a severe thunderstorm. I mean, we're getting like
and they're
pelted.
they're going perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, this is so typical of Georgia summer. It's like we transitioned to May and we were just outside filming in relatively normal cloudy kind of day. And now we're in like mega severe thunderstorm. So that being said, the Infiniti is a very comfy car to be driving around in. I think the ride is great. Now, if you watch our channel, one of my complaints about the Nissan Pathfinder that bugs me in particular is that it has a habit of rocking from side to side. The suspension is a little too soft in side-to-side transitions. The Infiniti has that as well, but not nearly as bad. It is like really,
It's coming
like
down.
really raining hard. But we feel secure in our
the
all-wheel drive Infiniti QX60. It's like leaves are getting blown off of trees and stuff. Probably should be glad it's not hailing, actually.
Yeah. I actually think it's gonna hail.
Well, then we better get back to the house.
I think so.
This is wild review weather. These
Wild
are the kind of real world reviews that
Yeah.
you get on the Jack's Automotive channel. Oh, driving through a hurricane? It won't stop this review. We're in the Infiniti QX60, driving through adverse conditions.
And still enjoying it.
And still enjoying it because we are comfy in these seats, heated and cooled. This is like the weirdest.
Heated and cooled.
Yeah.
Like we need our heated and cooled seats in the store.
Yeah, the
Is that what you're-
weirdest Infiniti promo ever.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of odd, but hey, are you getting a massage over there during the
No,
storm?
not yet.
You gotta focus.
Yeah, I gotta stay
There's a
locked
lot
in.
of debris on the road.
Well, yeah, because the wind is blowing so hard.
wild.
So the suspension, when you're driving at like faster speeds and you're on a long straight road, it is very smooth. But I think it's $70,000. One thing this doesn't have is adjustable suspension. So you don't have any kind of like adaptable or adjustable suspension. Now that bounce right there is actually pretty severe, and it irons it out pretty well and cushions you from it. But I do think at 70 grand, you know, Mazda gets away with it because Mazda tunes suspensions about as good as anyone ever can tune them. But I do think at 70 grand, maybe it would benefit the QX60 to have some type of adjustable, even if you just have a normal and kind of sportier mode. Like, it made a huge difference on that Lincoln Nautilus that we had, which had an extremely kind of floaty ride in regular mode, and then it felt way more composed in sport mode. I think that would help the QX60 somewhat to have that advantage. But overall, from behind the wheel, it's not bad. The steering is a little artificially heavy, but it doesn't feel bad. The wheel itself feels great, as you said.
Yeah, like material-wise.
Yeah, you're absolutely right about the braking. The braking is kind of irritating, a little overly grabby, and it's also not very progressive as you push through the pedal. The feedback seems to be inconsistent.
Yeah.
I do think you get used to it, but it's not the end of the world. And I also think that the age of the platform, like we just went over that bump there, and you can feel a little bit of vibration through the platform just because I think this is an older platform underneath the car. But that being said, the comfort that you feel from behind the wheel is phenomenal. Now, one thing I do want to ding about the infotainment, and we'll talk about this more when we get to the interior portion. You have this rotary knob, and I'll show you in B-roll, and Megan, you mentioned it as well. You have this rotary dial here, and it doesn't really seem to do anything.
I've literally not used it once.
It's a touch screen, and it's fine if you're tallish like we are. Operating it as a touch screen is the way to do it. The rotary dial, I feel like, honestly, and I know this is kind of being mean, I feel like it's just there because other luxury cars have some type of system, and Infiniti was like, well, what if we just put a rotary dial here and we make it look like, you know, it's doing something when it's like kind of not really doing a whole lot. And so it's just sort of pointless. But you do have hard buttons for your surround view camera and things like that.
I like the surround. The camera is.
Yeah, I love it. I always say if you have a surround view camera, you should be able to access it with a button.
You want it, yes.
Yeah, it's exactly where you expect it to be.
I didn't have to look for it.
And then this does have, we haven't really had a chance to use it, especially not in this weather, but this does have Nissan and Infiniti's Pro Pilot sort of next level hands-free driving, and it's not an autonomous system. I always say that for legal purposes, it is not an autonomous system, but it is a very good adaptive cruise control system we've used on other Nissan and Infiniti products. So if you haven't used Pro Pilot, it's very good. It's not quite at like GM Super Cruise, I think now is kind of the high watermark. But I would say that Pro Pilot is up there with like Ford and Lincoln's Blue Cruise system. So if you enjoy taking road trips like we do, the Pro Pilot is a nice benefit because it does work very well. We've used it numerous times on other products. So I do like that. But overall, this is a very pleasant car to live with, and it's a very easy car to live with. And I think when we get to our summary, that's going to be one of the main sort of selling points, is it's an easy car to live with.
Okay, so the first thing I noticed about the interior was the like quilting. So there's quilting on the seats, which I always love a good quilt. I think you
love a good quilt.
Yeah, like in both senses, like a nice quilt that your grandma made, but also in a car. I just think it looks nice. It like takes it up a notch, you know? And I look at this quilting that goes all the way across the dash.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like that's a thing that I've normally seen. And I've
Not
seen a
really,
lot of
no.
quilted interiors. But I just think that like
higher quality leather too.
Yeah, it like looks really cool. It just adds a little bit of like extra luxury. And you've got these like wooden accents, which I think are fake.
No, these are real.
Shut
Open
up.
pour. Yeah, open pour wood. It's real.
Okay, I mean it kind of looks a little fake though.
Well, if you knock on it, it has a little bit more solidity. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
I think
don't know.
all wood
Looks
kind
fake.
of looks fake.
I think the door looks cool. Like
door?
the little triangle thing with the Bose speaker.
Oh yeah, that's the 17.
Yeah, like I just think
17
that's kind of
speaker
cool.
Bose
Like they
system.
tried to make the interior look like different. The steering wheel, I love the way the steering wheel feels. Like the leather on here is top notch.
yeah.
I don't like the silver thing in the middle. I never do. But it's got the little flat in the bottom, so I'm okay with it. It does have a couple cup holders. Fits the stand.
Fits the stand.
Fits a Celsius.
And a Celsius, not sponsored.
We are not sponsored.
Sponsor
but
a Celsius. Hey,
yeah,
come on.
we drink a lot of Celsius in our family.
We're open to this.
We've got a nice little thing here. There's a little wireless charging pad. The screen is decent. It's not huge. It's nothing special. It's like a Nissan screen, right?
Yeah, I'll talk more about that.
Yeah, so it's kind of boring. I don't know. It's not my favorite thing. And this guy might be this whole reason why I would not buy this car.
You hate fiddly shifters.
Hate a fiddly shifter. Like, you have to press this to park. You have to push this into reverse into drive. Reverse is going forward. Drive is going back. I cannot stand it. Like, just give me a button or give me a normal shifter or give me something. Like this, I cannot stand it. And the little things light up, like to tell you when you're, I don't know it's up here, but like a minute ago, I was in reverse and I was like, with the way the sun was coming,
not bright enough, yeah.
I literally could not tell what gear I was in looking at this, which I don't like. I don't want to have to look here and I'm like, I didn't like it. So this, I can't stand. I haven't really used this stuff much. Have you?
It's kind of pointless. I'll talk more about it
Okay.
later.
I mean, so I don't, I haven't really used it. I like the start down here. I think that's fine. The parking brake is not my favorite because he always turns it on. I don't, unless you're like on a
you
hill.
just don't like parking brakes.
I don't. I like the ones that come on and off automatically.
Which is
I don't know why
basically
all cars don't have
Toyota
that.
Lexus.
Yeah, I don't
Toyota
know why
Lexus
all
does
cars don't have that. Because it's annoying to me, and I can never remember because I have like the old like a pedal down here, so it's obvious like how to. But like, do I push it down? Do I pull it up? I can never remember, and I know that's a small little thing, but it just annoys
because
me.
Honda and Acura is
like
backwards.
Yes.
Most
so,
of them are pull up for
right,
the
and
park.
some of them are push, and I just can never remember, and it just starts my drive in an annoying mood.
So you're just mad at me every time.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't turn it on because I'm parked in a flat driveway. Why do I need to turn the parking
That just
brake on?
sounds like normal
It's not going to
life.
start rolling down the hill,
You were
honey.
mad at me for some reason.
Well, that's typical. I do like the giant sunroof.
Yeah, it's a big one. It's a big panel roof.
Yeah, it is big. Yeah, and the leather is
Well, and Nissan and
Lovely.
Infiniti seats are very comfortable.
it is very comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it
very
feels
good.
like luxurious. I love it. Everything you touch.
Good job, Infiniti.
Yeah, good job.
What
Except
about
for this stupid
space? What about space?
thing. Up here?
In the back, this is transitions.
Well, I have a ton of space. Well, let's just talk about this. I have a ton. Well, because you don't tell me they're coming.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, I'm supposed to read your mind?
What about
There's
space?
A lot of crazy things going in there. I don't know.
Back. Oh.
Space up here is lovely. Great. Tons of space.
Okay.
Tons of space. Let's hit the back. Hey, I'm like, guys, Dad, can I get this? Honestly, because I have not been in the back.
You've literally been going back and forth on this car the entire
because
week.
that fiddly shifter like makes me not want to buy this car.
This car's good. I don't like it. This
but
car's
like there's
great.
every
I
time
love
I get like this back seat is very comfortable.
Yeah.
And is this like stadium seating?
Yes.
Like I am higher than this guy.
Yeah. Most SUVs are, some more than others.
Yeah. I kind of wish the front seat was as high as this.
You can make it higher.
Like this up here?
It's
Way up here?
power adjustable.
All right, let's do it.
And it
we've
has
got
massage.
the cup holders. I have like a little thingy in here. I don't know, a little. Do I have heated and cooled seats?
The middle thing's removable. Yeah, you can take it out if you want more space.
Infiniti. I'm so impressed. We have the little triangle door, which I like
The
carries.
triangle door.
But you know what I mean? But it's not quite as intense as up there. It's like we're kind of stuff. I don't know. I like it. We've got the little nets.
Yeah.
Not nets, screens.
Sunshade, peasant
Sunshade,
blocker.
thank you, peasant blocker. You love a good peasant blocker.
I love the peasant blocker.
Jack's all about blocking the peasants.
Blocker.
We do have a.
We are peasants ourselves.
Facts.
I'll just block
Facts
myself
on
out here.
Does this have heated, cooled seats? The buttons just went away. They were lit up and now
it's because they're haptic feedback. They're not real buttons. Yeah.
What does that even mean?
They are real buttons. You touch it and you feel it like move.
It does move.
Yeah. Oh, these are real.
Yes.
I mean, sorry, I was talking about the front one.
I was like, but these are real buttons. But they were lit up a minute ago, so now I can't see all the features that are back here.
Yeah, it's just the interior lighting.
If we shut the door and then open it, will I be able to see them again?
Probably not. Probably the front door.
But
it has
heated seats,
yeah,
not
not
cooled
cool,
seats.
which is a little lame.
I mean, really, this car costs what, $70,000?
$70,000.
Like, give me an automatic parking brake and give me cooled seats. I don't understand that. Is the front heated and cooled?
Yes.
Do I have a heated steering wheel?
Yes, and massage.
Why didn't you tell me that?
Well, we haven't had this car this long. We're filming this a little earlier than usual.
No, that is false. I've been driving around this car for like 5 days now.
Okay.
And you didn't tell me I could have been getting massages the whole time?
We'll talk about it more later.
All right, let's see what the third row is like. Okay, so here I am, trapped in this tiny little third row. It's really not meant for people who are 5'9", I'm just saying.
Yeah, for context, you're 5'9".
I am 5'9", so smaller children probably, but I do have some little chargy guys back here. Did you see that?
Oh, you have charge ports?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. I've got 2 cup holders here. There's 2 cup holders and a charge port. So both of these, so if you stick little tiny children back here, then you could be like, hey, don't complain, there's a charger. And then they'd be like, okay, it's fine. There's like this little pad thing. I don't know what this is for. Like, what is that?
Probably to collect crumbs.
Yeah, exactly. Does this middle thing, like no one could sit here. So it's not a 3-person.
No, it's really more 2.
Is it supposed to be, I guess? I'm so confused.
I mean, I certainly wouldn't try.
No. But this will go up. But like, we can close this, but like then I'm really, are you gonna do it?
Yeah, let's do it so they can
like,
see.
look at my feet. I have to like be really.
So they can see how comfortable you were in the second row. And here's.
It's not comfortable. Ugh. Okay. See my knees, my legs. I'm all squished up. Can you see me?
Kinda.
Yeah, this I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. But for tiny children, like very tiny children, I think it's fine.
All right, so one of the best aspects of the QX60 is its interior in terms of like fit, finish, materials, and also space and comfort. So at almost 6'6", I've got plenty of room. Space is not an issue. The seat is very adjustable. The steering wheel is very adjustable. And it's also very comfortable because Nissan and Infiniti have their, like zero gravity seats or whatever they're called.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, and the cushioning feels fantastic. It's like slightly firm, but like you could sit in this thing for hours and it feels
and get
great.
massage, which you didn't tell me.
Yeah, now it's not a super intense massage, not like what you're gonna find like the Acura MDX Type S or something like that. It's more of like kind of what Genesis does with the air bladders opening and closing or inflating and deflating. And I agree with you. I think the quilted dash looks
so good
and feels fantastic. Yeah. I really like that Infiniti in this Autograph edition is kind of taking things up a notch.
Like you notice it.
Yeah, it immediately looks.
It sets it apart.
immediately looks good. I don't mind in the climate controls. Down here, you do have buttons for everything, but they're haptic feedback, so they're just spaces on the piano black, which means they're gonna get dirty, unfortunately. But when you touch them, they do vibrate a lot, so it is like touching a real button, which helps you it mitigates the problem of not having a physical button there. You know, pure touch screens with no feedback, you could like be pressing the wrong thing, and so that's a little bit of an issue. I do agree with you, it doesn't bother me as much, but the fiddly shifter
It's
thing
so annoying.
you know, there's just no purpose for it. I think all automakers just need to either have a sort of semi-traditional shifter or a button,
buttons.
and just leave it at that, right? Like, or do some of the stalks like Mercedes-Benz has been doing, and what I think GM just introduced on the new Traverse, right? So you have a little stalk that you can do. It's very simple. So I think the shifter thing is a little bit irritating. Now, my big complaint here, okay, being more of the enthusiast and also more of the tech guy, it is very clear to me that Infiniti is running a lightly reskinned version of Nissan's basic gauge cluster. So this is a 12-inch gauge cluster, 12-inch infotainment screen, and they're running a lightly reskinned version of it. It's probably one of the biggest downsides of this vehicle is that so many other automakers are sort of advancing their tech, and this looks and feels kind of old and last gen, right?
It does feel like I feel like all the interior looks really good and like up to date, but then it sort of sticks out.
It sort of sticks out. And then you can also see this when you do the surround view camera. The surround view camera looks like absolute trash, and like that sort of stinks on a $70,000 luxury SUV when you hit the surround view camera and it looks like an 8-bit Nintendo system. Like you really
that's a bit dramatic.
Yeah, but you really need to elevate that stuff because you've got stiff competition in these areas, and so that's an area
especially
where
if you're paying $70K.
Yeah, where like, you know, Nissan is trying to kind of dial back the budget a little bit, and you see it. The 17-speaker Bose system sounds great. One complaint I do have, and it could be because this is a test vehicle, I always try to be accommodating with that, but they're in heavy bass music. There's some door rattling. Yeah, there's some door rattling here, and it's super annoying. Again, these test vehicles, I always say they lead hard lives. I always say that, but it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
And so
I was listening to like Taylor Swift, not even that loud. Like it's not like we were bumping it and you could still hear it.
And it's coming from the door panel.
The driver door.
It's not coming from the speaker. So it's not like the speaker's blown out because some journalist like, you know, cranked up the system. It's coming from the door panel. So that's just something to note. Other than the tech though, honestly, other than the tech, the options you get, the comfort, the convenience, you got everything you want here with the memory seats and power everything, heated and cooled. Like, you're getting a lot, and it feels really great. It feels really great, and that's the important thing. It's just a little bit of a bummer that some of those tech pieces are lagging behind the competition. But I'll talk about that more in the summary. Okay, so as the, you know, tall guy, my purpose here is just to demonstrate the space. Headroom is actually a little tight, okay? This seat is adjusted all the way back. This seat also motors back when you get out. So legroom in terms of how much space I have is fine, but headroom is actually compromised. And you get lights, you get vents, you get like all the stuff that you want back here. You get heated seats. But if you are tall, that headroom is gonna take a hit. So just keep that in mind. Also, it's starting to rain and my camera person is about to get cranky.
Yeah, that's me.
So this looks a little weird because we film things out of order, and if you've made it this far, you just saw us driving earlier in torrential downpour. And this is literally, what would you say, within 2 hours of that happening? And now the sun has come out. This is just typical Georgia summertime. But anyway, summary of the Infiniti QX60. I think this vehicle really grew on us over the course of the week. I'm gonna say some things that, you know, maybe Infiniti won't like here, but this is my advice after we lived with it for a week. There is a lot of value packed into this 3-row luxury crossover if you probably pick it up used. At $70,000, this thing competes in a category with, it's almost as expensive as the Acura MDX Type S, which is a superior car to live with, even if it's not as big. It's way more expensive than something like the Hyundai Palisade Calligraphy, which is just over $50,000 and has a little bit more cargo space. So this cargo space is comparable to that. This is almost exactly the same as the Palisade Calligraphy. It's actually bigger than the MDX Type S, and it's about $10,000 more expensive than the Mazda CX-90, which has pros and cons. It's got about the same cargo space, but it's got a smaller rear seat, but it does drive better than this, and the interior is also very nice. So you've got a ton of very stiff competition. Then there's the elephant in the room. There's the new Lexus TX, and that thing has been selling like hotcakes, and it's absolutely fantastic. But you'll never find a used one because it just came out. There are no used Lexus TXs right now. So if you need maximum amount of space, that one has like 57 cubic feet of cargo space behind the second row, whereas this one has like 4142. All right, so the TX is much larger and has a much larger third row, but you're gonna be paying sticker. And because the TX is so popular, you're going to be paying at least sticker, if not one of Toyota Lexus's infamous markups. So if you're looking for kind of the maximum amount of space with a lot of luxury, and you can live with some of the outdated tech, and well, you're willing to pick up a 2022 or 2023 with a little bit of mileage on it that gets down closer to that $60,000 price, I think that this QX60 Autograph fully loaded makes a great case for itself when you start moving that price down there. All right, so that's kind of my opinion. I think there's a lot to like about this vehicle. It's not perfect in every way, but there's still a lot of pros, and if you could take a little bit off that price, whether through hard negotiation or better yet, getting a lightly used one, I think you might find a lot to like about the QX60. But I'll let you take it away with your more subjective review.
This is Megan's moment. I don't love Megan's moment, but I need some. I can't.
It sort of makes the most sense, though.
You think? I know, but I feel like it's not exciting enough.
Well, definitely cut all this.
But anyway, I'm gonna cut all your stuff out. All the stuff when you're talking about torque and
you don't even
all
know
the
how
words
to
that nobody cares about. Yeah, that's facts. I'll figure it out. What if I edited a video?
Yeah, just like you figured out how to link a video yesterday.
Okay, it was tricky. I had to download it and save it and then put it in my Google Drive, and I don't know how to do any of those things. You're gonna figure out advanced video editing. Okay. No, okay, we're not. I was gonna say outerior.
You've almost said
Exterior.
outerior like 3 cars in a row.
I don't know what's wrong with me. It's like interior, outerior. It just feels like that should be what it's like.
definitely not.
Exterior. I'm gonna go like 10 out of 10.
Wow, whoa.
I
whoa,
mean, look
Infiniti.
at it. Look at it. I think it looks great. It's a great looking SUV, and I really do like. I'm normally not like a reddy maroon kind of.
A reddy maroon.
That's what color it is.
No, this actually color combo looks nice.
Yeah, I love it, and I love the black top.
Yeah.
Now I might not give it a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't the autograph or whatever you said it is.
Yeah,
Autograph?
the autograph definitely has some
Yeah,
style.
it looks really good. The black accents, the grille looks awesome. I like the back end. I think it looks great. 10 out of 10. Interior. Okay, now is the shifty guy included in the interior?
I mean, it's inside the car.
Whew. Okay, if it had a better shifter, I'd probably give that interior like a 9 out of 10.
Wow.
I don't love the dash cam. It's not what it's called.
The surround view camera?
No,
The
I like
reverse
that.
camera?
No, just the screen. The
Oh, you mean just the infotainment screen?
infotainment. Thank
Yeah.
you. I don't love the infotainment screen.
Okay.
I just don't think it looks like. I think we could have made it look a little nicer. So that's not my favorite. So that would be like a 9 out of 10. But the shifter puts me down to like a 7 out of 10.
Yikes.
I literally cannot stand it.
But does the quilting earn any points back?
Okay, so maybe the quilting brings me
So-
back to
so
an
like
8.
8 out of 10?
Yeah, we'll go 8 out of 10. I love the quilting. I love the leather seats. The steering wheel's okay. I hate the metal thing in the bottom, but I like the rest of it. It feels very comfortable, feels very luxurious. The heads-up display is great. Everything is great, except I hate that stupid shifter, and I think the infotainment could use a little jazzing up. Drive. I'll go like an 8 out of 10. I don't love the way it brakes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, it's very. Now, I'm not the drive person. That's for you. So y'all listen to him when he talks about the drive.
Well, we already have.
I just think it like. Oh, my bad. Go back and listen again. I just think it drives like pretty average. I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
Braking's not my favorite, but I like it. And is that it? Oh, overall. Oh, value.
Value.
You said it's like
$70,000.
$70,000. That is wild to me, but that's.
You
I mean,
could get this
I'm also a
used
teacher,
for
so
a lot less.
that's what you said.
I know some of the automakers don't love when you say that, but this thing's depreciation hits, and then this thing
But
suddenly
that's-
becomes a good value.
Yeah, I mean, I love Infiniti's a great car. My mom used to have an Infiniti, remember?
She did. G35.
What was that? G35. We loved that thing.
sedan. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that was a great car.
One of their best, actually.
So Infiniti is great. I mean, it's great value. It's
If you get it
good
used.
quality, great value if you get it used.
Yeah.
I meant good quality, like they're good cars. So value, I'll go like a 7 out of 10. Seems a little expensive. Used, maybe we go up to
I was
like
going to say
a 9 out of
potential
10.
9 or 10
Yeah,
out of 10.
yeah. Overall, I'm gonna go like a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
I would definitely, and like the more time I spend with this car, which I think that is good.
It's
like
grown on you a lot.
It grows on you. Yeah, there's like little things that you're like, oh, I actually really like this. Like the second row, very comfortable. The front row, very comfortable. The quilted leather, it looks lovely. So it's one of those things that like the more and there are some cars that like I like a lot when you first get them, and then I'm like, oh, I actually don't love this.
The romance ones.
Yeah, and so this one I feel like it's going the other way, which I think is good for like the longevity of enjoying your car. So I'm gonna go 8.5 out of 10.
That's a good
solid
point.
car, Infiniti, solid car. SUV. So thank you for watching, and if you want to see more, like, subscribe, ring the bell.
Of course.
Of
I don't even
course.
know if ringing the bell matters anymore.
Is that a thing? I think it's kind of fun to say.
Yeah, but I don't think.
You don't have to ring the bell then, I guess. Just like and subscribe.
Just, hang out with us.
Yeah.
We're fun.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I don't need you to say that because I listen for the beeping sound.
Okay.
So I know
and you're
how.
oriented to the left of the car.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for your rule of thirds framing.
I don't know
You're
what
a
that
pro
means.
now.
Just go.
So this week we have the 2024. I almost said
It's
Lincoln
not a
because I was
Lincoln.
thinking like.
Yeah, because he was complaining about
I was
how
just
I filmed his
complaining
Lincoln
about
video.
how you
That's
filmed
why
the
he's about to
Lincoln
say
Nautilus.
Lincoln. Yeah.
So as far 3, 2, 1.
I'm
3,
going
2,
to give
1,
you
go.
that every time.
3, 2, 1. Action.
Even though you don't need it.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
Now you're in the front interior.
The front interior. The frontier.
Yeah, the frontier where people
The
sit.
frontier. Like the frontier, the frontier.
Okay, this is all going in the cut from the. just cut
Everything
from the
you always
show.
say that. Everything I say is cut.